Y'all know what it is. Jimmie Reign, what's happening?
Talk about your new album, that you have, and also your new single, A Different Person, which is doing great on the charts right now, and also the hot video that you just made for it, which I, just saw a couple of days ago. So you're definitely doing your thing. So basically, how did you actually get started in the actual music industry? As growing up, was it all?
Well, my father's a minister, so we were in church, of course, all the time. I have 2 younger sisters, and we're just always singing. We were always dancing and, doing things like that. My dad's been in the music industry since he was a kid, so we just grew up with music around us. And at about 15, I started writing songs. I heard a Brian McKnight CD, and I was just like, wow, I could write like that. I could do that.
Right.
And I just started writing and kind of met the right people, and had a song placed in Japan on a Japanese artist album when I was like 18, I think, and from there things just started going. They just started breaking off. So.
Great. So how how would you, when you look back today on the success you have reached thus far, did you ever see that coming, or was that just like, did you ever see you'll make it this far, or?
Not at all. I tell people all the time, I remember when I was little and I used to look at people on TV and I'd be like, okay, one day I'm going to meet her. Or one day I'm going to meet him.
Right.
And, you just kind of say those things because you're a kid and, that's your dream or whatever.
Right.
And now I know those people, and now I kick it with some of those people. People are my friends and I work with them. And it's crazy. And it's still, every day that I work with them or every day that I talk to someone on the phone that I used to dream about working with, it's crazy to me. And I don't know, I still don't think I'm as successful as I'd like to be, but it's coming, and I'm definitely grateful and I'm blessed every day. So
have you ever been starstruck when you saw one of your favorite celebrities for the first time? Did something ever just that fan just pop out of you, or?
Oh, definitely. I met Music Soul Child like 4 or 5 years ago, and I cried. And he probably wouldn't even remember now, but I stood there and I cried because I was just so starstruck, and I was like, I'm just a huge fan of yours. And he was like, are you okay? Are you going to be okay? I'm like, yeah, I love your music, and I couldn't get a hold of myself. I was so overwhelmed, but I'm that way. I'm a big ball of emotion.
So now on to your album, your new album, Pretty Girl. How would you describe the whole concept of the album?
Well, I had a mixtape out. It came out 2 years ago. It was called Go Girl, and Go Girl was basically describing the way a young woman is, and she's kind of she does what she needs to do to get ahead, and she's a little wild, but not all the time in public, and she's just kind of going through life and doing what she's got to do to get to where she wants to be. And when I did Pretty Girl, Pretty Girl's like a toned down, more mature version of Go Girl. You'll definitely be able to hear the growth in my writing and the growth in my song selection, because I've grown. In the 2 years that I've been doing this, I've turned into a different person. I've become a more mature young woman. So you'll definitely hear that on the Pretty Girl album.
Okay. So, I'm going to have to ask you about the Go Girl thing, with the Ciara, So what really, what is really the real situation on that whole thing? Did she take your song, or did she not take it, or was it just rumors, or,
I don't think anyone will ever know for sure, but I will just say that we have a person in common. He's a very well-known person. I won't say his name, but we have a person in common who did hear my album and heard songs off of Go Girl, and yeah, and then all of a sudden there was Go Girl, and she had a look that was similar to mine, and I don't know. So you know, it could be coincidence. If it is, great. You know, great. But
gotcha.
it was just, yeah,
no.
kind of weird.
So your new track, different person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Does that song, you know, basically describes how you're different as in growing up, or is that just describing a relationship material as in when you're dealing with someone and you become a different person?
Different person is actually about how alcohol makes you feel.
Oh, wow.
After you drink too much, and how it turns you in, it can really turn you into a different person.
Right.
And I, you know, made the mistake of drinking a little too much at a club one night, and just the next morning I was like, oh my God, I don't remember what I did.
Oh, so that was
like
one of your actual experiences, huh?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
No problem. So, you know, the said was that you went on tour with Keyshia Cole, correct?
I opened up for her. She was on tour, and in one of the cities that she came to, I opened for her.
Okay. How was it working? You know, did you ever have the opportunity? I'm sure you had the opportunity to meet her, but what was the first thing she said to you? Do you remember?
Well, I didn't talk to her at the tour. We were separate for most of it. But I actually used to work with Keyshia a long time ago when we were maybe 14 or 15, when we were both writing.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew Dwayne Wiggins, who's a part of Tony, and he used to have us both in there writing songs and recording. And she said to me once, she said, "You're the better writer, but I'm the better singer.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to get it before you do." And she definitely got there quicker than I did. So that is one thing I remember her saying to me. She's a very talented girl, though. Very talented.
Good. So is there a future Keyshia Cole Jimmie collaboration in the works at all? Or?
I would love to work with her. Keyshia is a dope writer. I mean, everything that she writes is real. It's from the heart, and people can really feel what she's doing, you know, when she writes. So I would love to work with her. I'm sure she knows that, though.
So on your new album, who do you have collaborations with? Who actually are you working with on that album?
I didn't do a lot of collaborations this time, only because on the mixtape there were a lot of different features on there. So I kind of wanted to keep Pretty Girl a little more streamlined and a little more of showing people me and, you know, who I am and what I can do. I did work with a very talented young man by the name of Neo the Gift. He's a new rapper out of the Bay, and he is just, I mean, I heard this kid and I was like, wow, he's dope. Like, I would put him up there with a Jay-Z or a T.I. or Lil Wayne. Like, he's amazing. And then I got to work with a bunch of different producers. One was from the UK. I have a producer out of New York, and then another new producer from the Bay, and he goes by the name of Chuck Diesel. He did Different Person, and also my other single that was out, Make You Wait.
Okay. So what would be your favorite song from the album thus far?
My favorite song?
Yeah.
You know, I would have to say it's probably Pretty Girl.
Okay.
Because Pretty Girl describes me. It talks about growing up, you know, not really knowing who I was and kind of doing the wrong things to find out who I was, and then coming through those things and just growing into a better person who really loves herself.
Right.
So.
Great. So coming out of the Bay Area, you know, what do you think you can bring to the music industry that's in the current state of music industry, I guess you could say, you know?
I think that I bring a softness, I think, to the industry. When you look at Beyonce, you know you're going to get a powerhouse vocal